Cause your vibe may be different. That shine in your eyes what I'm missing. Your body Ferrari, but your mind is my interest. You finding your find in the sky, we gon' ride the ecliptic. Like a Mercury transit.
Peace, y'all. Today with Star Card Astrology. I'm here to give you daily astrology guidance for Tuesday, September 27th, 2022. I just want to remind everybody to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll greatly appreciate it. Help the channel grow. Bring this information to everybody and anybody who is interested or needs it. So, let's pop off. So, we got the moon finishing up in Libra today, moving into Scorpio by the end of the day. But midday, it will be making this semi-sextile to Mercury and Venus. So, we'll definitely be going through it emotionally when it comes to love aspects, heavy on the mind. And by the end of the day, we'll be feeling more, just really deeper about those situations. And probably a lot more passionate about it. If we come to some good resolution with, whatever love aspects, then, this emotionally will feel better about going deeper into that. If not, this is kind of where emotions can get fairly toxic overnight. I mean, it just depends on, how that happens, how this is aspecting your personal natal chart and progress chart. But overall, we're going to be definitely feeling a type of way about other people and other people that we actually have a connection with. Relationships of, that are immediate and intimate, but also not so much. But this is where we have to move through those things. We have to communicate them. We have to put what's on our minds out there, and in order to transform and get out of these situations or fix them, right? This is about where we have to be real and intuitive about the other person. I would say the moon in Libra is a lot about that, right? Where we have to really feel out other people. Are they willing to grow with me? Are they facilitating growth? Do they want to bring about a new aspect, or not even a new, but essentially a new, better, improved aspect to the relationship today? Like, because after today, it's either like, oh, no, they don't, fuck them, or yes, they do, and I'm all in, feeling awesome about it, feeling deeply about it, right? Because when that moon moves into Scorpio, emotions get really deep. This is where toxicity can come out emotionally, but this is also where passion can really, get intimate, very intimate. So it could be awesome for relationships that are going well and that are growing in the right direction. It could be detrimental for relationships that aren't. And and also with Mercury and Venus at 26 and 27 degrees Virgo, they are trining. Ooh, it doesn't do that when I want it to. I love it. It doesn't do that when I want it to. Pluto. So I'm just going to say this. If things have not been going well with relationships, this is where they completely change. And like I said, with the moon moving through the last degrees of Libra, the last degrees of any sign are the most intense parts. And then it'll move into a new energy, and essentially, start fresh. But because it's Libra into Scorpio, sextiling Venus and Mercury, and then that is trining Pluto, this is where awesome change can happen, right? This is where relationships can transform and, just transcend, right? Go, if everything's been aligning and going in the right direction, then it can feel like it's even better by the end of the night and tomorrow. But if it has been falling apart, and you're, trying to force that situation, I would say not to do that, because it could blow out of proportion. It could transform into something not great. So I would proceed with caution with relationships that are toxic today into tomorrow. I would say just move completely out of that space. Up until this point, you already know whether they're willing to work things out properly, grow in a positive way, or not. It's not even a question. It's not, well, maybe this, maybe that, I can fix it, I just love them. It's none of that. And I don't have anything that's going on in my life that's making me say these things. This is just what the astrology's channeling through me right now. It just, Venus is love. Mercury is our thoughts and communication. The moon is our emotional state. Pluto is death and rebirth, transformation. And they're making good aspects to each other. They're actually making good aspects to each other. But that doesn't mean, because you have to think about Pluto's in retrograde, Mercury's in retrograde. So this is where, if, it's not like, relationships that have been bad are just going to all of a sudden be amazing. If they have been bad up until this point, with these energies flowing, it just means that the energy's flowing in a good aspect, in a good angle, right? Because this is all just math. So with a Pluto retrograde making a good angle towards the planets of love and communication, that means that those things can transform for better or for worse. So it's up to us to really understand ourselves, be real with ourselves about the relationships that we're in, if they're toxic or not. If they are, then this is where we can take it a step further or communicate even deeper and watch those relationships transform into something awesome. If it's been bad, again, it could really go bad today and tonight. So we still have, the sun opposed Jupiter, and nothing has really changed too much in that aspect. Our soul wants bigger, more. It wants our blessings. But those blessings only come from whatever decisions we made and whatever things we chose to move into prior to all of these retrogrades. We got Mars trining Saturn still. So again, this is just us needing to, or in wanting to move forward. We have to initiate things, but we have to make sure, and this is, what I've been reiterating for the last, couple weeks about this, is we have to get all of the facts straight. We have to have all of our data in line and then move. but we don't lag on that. Oh, this is what it is. This means this. This connects with this. Okay, I have enough information. I'm moving into it. I'm initiating it. I'm going. Now, with Saturn retrograde, this means that we don't initiate completely new projects and aspects that we've never done before. This is where we're taking action into things that we've been building, right? Saturn is retrograde, right? If Saturn was direct and moving forward, then and Mercury as well, then it'd be like, okay, yeah, we could move into something new. But this is where we take action on things that we've been building. And honestly, I mean, this is, at the end of the day, a day of healing. That's where we'll benefit from, is our own personal healing of our egos. And I say that because of Chiron at 14 degrees Aries. Even though it's not necessarily an exact, opposition with Fortuna right now, I guess, yeah, it is. That is an exact opposition. It's just no aspect lines on the chart. But that is a exact opposition. So it's all about whether, who we're connecting with or who we're disconnecting with is willing to check their own egos and go through the healing process. Those of us that have gone through the healing process, and not that it ever ends, it never ends. So it's kind of like also where it's like, are you still giving yourself an excuse to stay in the healing process? Because we're always going to be healing. It's just learning to deal with it and be able to create happiness while you're healing, right? It's like, if you're early on in the stage of healing, sure, definitely don't, get involved in something that could trigger you. Don't get involved in something where you're going to hurt somebody. Of course. But if you've been healing for a long period of time, doing the work, that's where there is a lot of luck there. I mean, it's Fortuna. It's not necessarily, part of fortune, but it's kind of the same thing a little bit, where it's only going to benefit us in the short term and in the long term. So that's kind of where we have to be real about, okay, am I at a stage where I'm healed from all of my past bullshit? Can I at least look at a scenario where somebody is doing something similar to the things I've been through, and it doesn't completely throw me off track and I'm just spiraling out of control? Because if it won't do that to you, then you've healed enough to at least allow love in. Right? Because there's never going to be a time where it's like, oh, I'm fully healed. Nothing triggers me ever. I'm good. Even the people who act like they're good, they're not good. They act like they're always good. Oh, no, I'm good. I'm fine. They don't even show any reaction. No. Inside, they're going through shit. It's just they've been programmed and taught not to express it, and that they can't trust anyone or whatever it is, because we're humans. We all go through it. None of us have ascended beyond the physical where we can't feel emotions, right? Unless they have psychosis where there's a part of their brain shut down, and then those are the people who are usually like murderers and shit. So yeah, that's kind of where we gotta really be real about it. You know, has this person that I'm dealing with, that I'm trying to fix the relationship with, connect with, have they gone through the process? Have they done the shadow work? Have they healed their egos? Because if not, and you have, then you're going to be fighting an uphill battle, because their ego's always going to get in the way and yours won't. And you're going to be wondering, well, why? Where's the disconnect? And then every time you call their ego out, it's going to be an issue, because they haven't taken control of their ego. You can't separate from the ego, right? You can, I guess you, to a certain extent, you can separate, but you can't remove it. I guess that's a better way to say it. You can't remove it. It's there. It's all about forming a relationship with your ego, understanding your ego, and then therefore being able to control it and utilize it when necessary, and not allowing it to flare up when there's no reason for it. So, let's see what the cards have for this Tuesday. Oh, I don't even need to shuffle it, but I'll give it one shuffle, because I did a lot of shuffling prior. All right, so we have the Knight, pretty much the Prince of Cups, reversed. So, you know, people are going to be kind of emotionally off, not necessarily treating each other well. Let's put it like that. It's reverse is kind of where the romance is not there. There's no Prince Charming, right? This is kind of where the relationship's been running dry. Everybody's abrasive with each other, and, you know, just kind of being assholes to each other. And if that's the case, then we need to move out of that completely, and not be afraid to, and not be afraid of the repercussions and how that's going to look, and can't do none of that. You got to North Node. The North Node will always guide us of how to get through the times. North Node in Taurus is understanding value, knowing value, moving in the direction of your own value and what you truly feel aligns with your own value. As long as we stay on that, we'll make it through. We'll go through speed bumps and all types of stuff, but it's all about understanding our own true value. So anybody treating you like freaking Jafar from Aladdin, or like whatever, cut it off. Say deuces, like Chris Brown, which is probably not. If anybody treats you like Chris Brown or Rihanna, definitely chuck the deuces. And hey, everything will work out. So I hope that helped. And until next time, One love.
Cause your vibe it be different, can shine in your eyes when I'm missing. Your body Ferrari, but your mind is my interest. You find in the sky, we gon' ride the eclipse like a Mercury transit.